Welcome back. Here we are to continue our live coverage of the parliamentary elections, the second and final day of the first phase of the House of Representatives elections, which took place earlier abroad for 3 days with Egyptian expats and inside Egypt for 2 days on Saturday and on Sunday. More than 4,000 candidates are competing on about 184 of the 568 seats. The parliamentary elections is a continuation of what happened just 2 months ago with the Senate elections. Only a week ago, the inaugural session of the Senate Council took place, and here we are to continue with the democratic process of voting as the Egyptians flood to the voting stations to choose their representatives who are going to represent them in the parliament in the coming round. Well, let's have first a quick look at what was going on today and yesterday in 14 governorates. This is, as I said, the first phase of the parliamentary elections. The second one is going to take place in 2 weeks from now. Let's have a quick look and then we are going to be back with more.
Egyptians go to polling stations today to vote for the second day in the first phase of the new House of Representatives elections slated at home for Saturday and Sunday. The voting is being held in 14 governorates amid tight precautionary measures over coronavirus spread. Almost 4,000 individual candidates and 8 coalition lists are competing over 568 seats in these elections. Half the seats will be filled through the individual candidacy system and the rest through party lists. The governorates which vote on Saturday and Sunday in the first stage are Giza, Fayoum, Bani Suef, Minya, Asyut, El Wadi Jadid, Sohag, Qina, Luxor, Aswan, Red Sea, Alexandria, Bahira, and Marsa Matruh. According to the National Elections Authority, the NEA 10,240 polling stations are open during this stage. The results of the first round of voting are expected in the coming week, and runoff rounds will take place on the 23rd and 24th of November. The second phase will see a first round on 7th and 8th of November and runoffs on 7th and 8th of December. A total of 284 seats will be up for grabs in the first stage, with half 142 seats allocated to individual candidates and the other half to party lists. There will be 2 party list districts in the first stage, the north, middle and south of Upper Egypt and the western delta. The polls will be supervised by 11,000 judges, and local and foreign media, human rights organizations and candidate representatives will be able to monitor the voting. The Egyptian army and police have finalized preparations to ensure the polls. The total number of eligible voters in Egypt is 63 million out of a population of 100 million. The eligible voters in the first stage are estimated to be nearly 33 million.
Welcome back, and we are very much delighted to have with us via phone Dr. Mohamed Talaat, our international lawyer, to shed more light on the parliamentary elections and on the challenges which are going to face the House of Representatives. Sir, have a very good evening first.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, as I was speaking before being with you, I was speaking about a democratic process the Egyptians are living. Just 2 months ago, we had the Senate Council elections. The Senate Council is going to lessen the burden on the House of Representatives, but still, our parliament in general, our parliamentary life is facing challenges. Egypt entered a new era of development, a new era of production, a new era of regaining its position as a key country. In your opinion, sir, what are the most important challenges which are going to face the House of Representatives?
As you rightly said, of course, the House of Representatives is the prime chamber of the Parliament. The Senate will assist the House of Representatives. However, it would still be the leading chamber of the Parliament. It will face challenges in terms of the new legislations that has to be enacted given the new era and the developments which are being, which Egypt faces at the time being, and the evolution of the economy, which the president is setting forth before the government, would require backup and support from the parliament in order to enact the appropriate laws and regulations that will assist the evolution of the economy going forward. As you rightly said, the country is being positioned, and the economic reform has had its positive impact on the economy, which will help the process of the developments to proceed forward. All of this would require backup and support from the House of Representatives, of course. Yeah.
Dr. Talaat, also I'd like to have your evaluation or your aspirations to be accurate from the coming House of Representatives and its main features. Do you think that it's going to include more female figures, for example, more youth, to inject new or fresh blood, as we say, in our political or parliamentary life?
The fact that there will be representation of the youth is definitely a positive aspect of the House of Representatives, as the evolution is part and parcel of the new thinking and the new concepts being introduced. The youth are the appropriate stratum of society that should help with respect to the new concepts that we are encountering. Now, with respect to the women representation, of course, this is a very positive sign, because it is absolutely important that women are being well represented in order to also support with respect to the legislations that would have impact on the family and on the women requirements and needs.
Yeah. Sir, also I cannot skip mentioning or speaking about the political awareness and the way now the Egyptians are looking to the voting process. It's not anymore a luxury, it's not anymore something which can be avoided or evaded. No, it's a political right and a political duty in the same time. How do you see the way now the Egyptians are looking to this voting process and their will to participate, to share, knowing well that they are really building the future of their own country, for not only for themselves but for the coming generations?
This is something that I have felt firsthand when I went this afternoon to vote. Definitely, there has been a very positive turnout from the youngsters, which is something that I praise very much. It is a real political awareness among the new generation, which shows that they do want to participate in the political life of their country and in the future evolution of their own country. It is something that impressed me, to be very frank with you, when I saw the younger generation being present there. Yeah. So it is a duty and a right, but people are exercising the right per se, not because it's a duty, but because it is a right, and because they do have aspirations with respect to the development of their own country and the desire of participation in the process, in the political process of the country.
Then I can say this in other words: you see or you notice yourself, sir, another spirit, another way of looking at the whole process, because I'd like to go from this to the role of media, to the role of us. How do you see, sir, the role of media to help the layman in the street, not to choose someone, but to go first, to have this culture of practicing political rights?
Well, the role of the media is basically to raise awareness and to explain the process for the layman, and to sort of induce the layman and teach him, educate him that the participation of the process is for the best interest of that person per se, because once he contributes to the election of his representatives in the parliament, this is something that will reflect positively on the country as a whole, of course, and on his own circuit as well. So this is the expectation from the media, is basically to raise awareness among the stratum of society that ordinarily were not very active in this respect and who need better understanding in order to entice them to participate in the process.
And now, sir, from your own perspective, because also I cannot mention media and its role in spreading political awareness without mentioning social media, because social media can be destructive with the false news or fake rumors or stuff like that, and the real facts. Now we learned the lesson. Now do you see that Egyptians cannot be deceived anymore, and they would know by their instinct even. I mean, it's not a condition to be very well educated or something like that, but we can now really differentiate between fake rumors or false news and facts?
I believe Egyptians have developed politically over the last couple of years, and they're not being misled by phony media or inappropriate media coming from other countries and so forth. They do have a strong belief in the development and the process of their own country, and I highly doubt that 99.9% of the population could be affected by any inappropriate or phony rumors here.
Well, Professor Dr. Mohamed Talaat, international lawyer, thank you very much for your input, sir. You're always an added value, and have a very good night. And we are continuing our live coverage of the parliamentary elections. As I said, this is a reminder, this is the second and final day of the first phase of the parliamentary elections, which is taking place here in Egypt for 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, and it took place earlier for 3 days all over the world, with Egyptian expats keen to share and to participate and to continue with practicing their political rights to choose who are going to represent the Egyptians in the coming parliamentary round. Right after the short break, we are going to be back. Stay tuned.